In this video, I'll walk through how you can create an employee API user and authenticate to the Cadaris API. So first, you want to go to the operations portal and create your employee API user. So I'll go ahead and log in. And then here you want to go to the employees screen. And then at the top, click the Create API User button. Here you can add a name and a description if you want, but that's optional. And then you can go ahead and click Create User. Now here you want to copy your API key, as this is the only time it'll be shown. And then you can go ahead and click Assign Roles. This will take you to the roles page for this user. And I'll just go ahead and assign administrator, but you can assign whatever roles you'd like. Now that we have our API user, next is how to authenticate to the API. For this, we'll need to find our API endpoints that we're going to use. And for that, we'll want to go to Swagger, which is your URL/services. And then here you'll want to go to the user API, find the employee API, and then here's an API key login endpoint and an auth token endpoint. And then for later, for an example of how to call the Cadaris API, let's find another endpoint to use. I'll go to the system API. And here I'll find the order API. And I'll use this API system order list endpoint. So I already have a script all written up for this, so I'll go over to that. So here we're first calling that API key login endpoint. We are sending our API key from our API user we just created in the body. And then we're sending some headers accept and content type application JSON. And then from the response of that endpoint, we're keeping the user session API key. And then we're calling that auth token endpoint, sending in that user session API key as a header, along with accept and content type application JSON. We're keeping that token returned from that endpoint. And then down here, we're calling that API system order list endpoint. And you can send in some params like page, so get you the first page of orders, and size, which will determine how big each page of orders is. Then we're also sending in some headers, accept and content type application JSON, and we're sending in that user session API key from the previous endpoint, and the XCServ token header with the token from that other previous endpoint. And then down here we're logging out the result, so I'll go ahead and open up my log screen. And now I'll run the script. And here's our result. We can see success true. We have a total of 1,571 orders here. And down here we can see all the orders, along with order information. And that's about it.